Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of Couch Cruisers. This time we're going to be looking at eating like a cruiser. So you always see those videos where they're hauling shopping carts worth of food down to their boat, loading up the boat for their big, transatlantic, trans-Pacific crossing that they're going to need 30 days for. And I always wonder, how do they decide what to buy? How do they decide how long is stuff going to last? And I wanted to see if I could actually replicate that from my house. So I decided I would provision myself for a 30-day voyage and see if I could answer some of the questions I had about them dragging those big shopping carts worth of food down to their boats. So this is going to be a two-part video. Part one, I'm going to lay out the plan and show you my pre-provisioning, and then a month from now I'll show you guys the results of it if I didn't starve to death. So what I want to figure out is, can I eat enjoyably and healthily for 30 days on stuff that I pre-provision, no re-provisioning, no stops at the store, you're underway this whole time. How much would it cost to provision myself for 30 days? And will I enjoy it? Will I want to eat like this long term? Finally, I'm going to track how long I use the stove and how long I use the microwave in order to come up with estimates on how much electricity and how much propane I would need in order to cook the food that I'm using. So, the rules for this challenge. First of all, fridge and freezer space is going to be limited to a combined 4 feet. And what I did is I cleared out my little beer fridge, and I'm going to be using that for the experiment. Microwave time. Microwave sucks down a lot of battery juice, so I figure I need a limit on how long I can use that today, and I just randomly picked 10 minutes of microwave time per day, and we'll see how that works out. I might end up cooking some stuff on the stove that I would normally use the microwave for. Leftovers. Because I plan on only cruising places that are nice and warm, I figure leftovers must be put in the fridge or they will spoil very quickly. So I put that restriction on myself. Leftovers go in the fridge. The next restriction I'm placing on this is because it's New Year's. Everybody's skinnying up for the coming bikini season, or swimsuit season, whatever you want to call it, and I'm doing the same along with most of America. So all of my meals and snacks must be healthy. And then for the meals, I want to have at least 2 different breakfast options per week, 2 different lunch options per week, 5 different dinner options per week. I also want to have at least 2 snacks per day that again fall into that healthy category. Now I imagine I'm going to be fishing underway, so I figured I could add fish to my diet. And because I'm going to be fishing, I figured I don't need to simulate having storage space for that because it's caught underway. So I figured 2 fish meals per week will simulate the fishing experience. And because I didn't want to go and buy all new spices, and because spices, you just stick them in the cupboard and they last for a very long time, I figured those didn't need to be included. So spices are not taken into consideration. Plus, if you run out of, powdered garlic, you're going to be just fine. So provisioning is for 2 adults with no dietary restrictions. So for my breakfast options, I went with 3 of them: oatmeal and an egg, cold cereal, or scrambled eggs with whatever's veggies. The way my family does leftovers is you get up in the morning, you dice up whatever leftovers you happen to have, and you throw some eggs in, you scramble it all up, and ta-da, you call it egg scramble, and there's breakfast. So there'll be some of that while underway as well. For lunch, because I still have to go to work during this month, I needed something that I could still stick to the rules but take with me. So 5 days a week I'm going to be doing sandwiches that I'll take with me to lunch for lunch at work. And 2 days a week we'll do hot lunch with chicken or fish or pasta or whatever. One thing I should have said about these slides is they all show the total ingredients that I think I'm going to need for these meals down at the bottom. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them though. If you actually want to go into detail, just pause it and you can read through the list. Dinner options are the most plentiful because I want to have, that's usually our social meal. For dinner I went with chili, spaghetti, chicken and pasta, chicken and rice, fish and rice, or sweet potatoes. My family's a big fan of sweet potatoes and we eat those in place of regular potatoes, but pick your favorite. They both last forever and should be an easy thing to store. So for snack options, I like granola bars, and they're relatively healthy, so I stocked up on a ton of those. I like peanut butter and banana sandwiches, and then just your normal variety of fruit. So here's the entire shopping list if you want to pause it and read through it. The whole shopping list ended up costing me $170 minus the spices. I'm just going to use spices that I already had. Here is my supposedly 4 cubic foot refrigerator. I'm really sacrificing for you guys for this video because I had to take all my beer out of it. While the manufacturer says this is 4 cubic feet, I don't know how they get to that number. You can see there with the Coke size for the Coke can there for size, doesn't look like 4 cubic feet to me. Here is my dry provisioning. I'm all ready for my voyage. Those bananas there on the top left didn't really come out. Those are as green as I could get. I don't know why they came out brown looking in the picture. Supposedly bananas give off a gas that makes them and other fruit close to them rot. That's why you see cruisers with the baskets full of fruit. Not having any baskets, I just tied them up hanging like that, and I figure that'll let the gas dissipate. We'll see how it works. The Tupperware that you see at the top right is my flour and sugar. Another thing to point out, the milk that you see there is room temperature milk. You can leave it and you can store it for 3 months. As long as it's not opened, it doesn't have to be chilled. And then behind that we have almond milk, which is the same type of deal. It can be stored at room temperature. And here's our cold storage. While I thought the fridge was pretty dinky, once I got everything packed in there, it actually looks like I could have fit more, and I could have actually accomplished this with one less shelf in my fridge if I had really wanted to. Because I really didn't need the bag of spinach that takes up most of a shelf on its own. If I had thrown out that bag of spinach there in the center shelf, I probably could have gotten the eggs and the kohlrabi into that middle shelf and skipped that top shelf altogether. There for meat, I went with mainly chicken. There's 12 pounds of chicken breast in there and 1 pound of ground hamburger that we'll use for spaghetti. And the root cellar. We just went with sweet potatoes as our main starchy food. Thank you all for watching part 1 of Eat Like a Cruiser. I'll check back in 30 days and let you know if I starved or if I ended up eating nothing but buttered rice the last week. Hopefully my math is right and I ended up provisioning decently and I'll have a good voyage. If not, at least we'll all learn something from the experience. Thanks again. Look forward to your comments. Subscribe so you get notified about the part 2 of the video. Thank you. Bye.